guest, career includes highlights in acting, modelling, singing and songwriting. Her latest single is Shiver. It is out now. Please welcome one of our favourites, Natalie Imbruglia.
Very close to seeing you. Very close to seeing you.
Have a seat. The bowl's getting smaller. Since Daniel came on and trashed the place, we've had to make the jelly bean bowl smaller.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
He's a crazy guy. He's a fun guy,
unpredictable.
He is unpredictable. Now, first, what I'd like to say to you is congratulations and happy birthday for a couple of weeks ago. You hit 30.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It's a big one.
Yes, audience. Yeah.
I need some. It was a big one.
What did you do?
Well, I planned a small dinner. I was a little bit down about it because Daniel was in Australia. And unbeknownst to me, they'd been planning all week for him to come over and surprise me. So yeah, he surprised me.
Did he jump out of a cake?
Not quite. He was waiting in a hotel room. And he's a very good liar, though, because I'd called him that... Well, I'd called him that morning. And, oh no, he'd called me to wish me happy birthday, and on his Aussie mobile. So I thought he was in Australia. And he was like, oh, I don't want to talk about that, I'm just about to go to sleep, and was just lying all the way. And I was like, oh, all right then, well, I wish you were here. And he was like, yeah, I've got to go to sleep now, I've got to go to sleep now. And then he was in the hotel the whole time. So it was very, very cool, because I'm very hard to surprise.
And I was going to say, too, because he's putting himself at risk there, because I've done this, and I'm sure a lot of guys have, where to pull off a really good surprise, you almost have to get yourself in trouble first and foremost.
Yeah, well, because it was very, very, very late morning when he'd called, and I was like, maybe he's been in a car accident or something. I was starting to panic. So my assistant was running out the room and going, you've got to texting him, you've got to call her, she's panicking. So... Now,
were you worried about turning 30?
I was reflective. It's one of those things where I wasn't upset about it, but I didn't feel like jumping up and down and screaming and being really excited. You just want to reflect on things.
Yes, because let me tell you something, kiddo. When I turned 30, I noticed... No.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was only last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. Now, I went to a bowls club.
I almost did that because 30 is such a big one. I was thinking, oh, what can I do? Maybe I'll go bowling. That was one of my first choices.
It's in the over 100 years of the club's history. They'd never had people on the green till 3 a.m. and we did that. so very proud. Now, Daniel also worked on your new or forthcoming album, Counting Down the Days, which must have been exciting.
Yes, he wrote a song for me called Satisfied, and it's amazing. And so I said, well, you've written it, you have to produce it now. So he and Paul Mac produced it, we recorded it here. And then I asked him to produce another song on the album called Counting Down the Days. And he did a brilliant job, of course.
Is it easy or difficult working with someone who obviously you're so very close with and you know so well?
Well, we didn't ever expect to be doing that or talk about it or plan it, and it was just very spontaneous, and I still can't believe he did it. I mean, I'm just so grateful that he was up for doing it, because I think he's a musical genius, and I was really...
No, he is.
He is.
Did you actually pay him to do that?
I made sure he got paid.
That's very good, I thought.
He didn't care about getting paid. He's like, oh, I don't care, whatever. And I'm like, no, we have to do this properly, and, you know, I'll make sure you get paid. Oh, hello, you have a bee on your shoulder.
Oh, my God, do I really?
You really honestly do.
Where?
It's just... Look, he's got a bee on his shoulder.
Oh, my God! My secret's out. I made a delicious golden honey.
Should I blow on it?
Oh, someone's coming at me. Yes, let's kill it, John.
I've lost my mic now.
Let's... This man is hired to kill insects. Now we've got 2 grown men chasing an insect. I'm not going to kill it. I'm not going to kill it.
That's brilliant.
Have a heart buff, Troy. Now, the lovely, the delightful, the ever-eloquent Anna Nicole Smith before.
Oh,
now,
thank you so much for that. That made my night.
Didn't it? Made everybody's night, I think. Now, she's obviously in for the MTV VMAs. As are you. You're performing.
Yes.
Are you nervous about that?
Yes. I've got a bit of a cold.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Now,
so I'm a bit nervous.
Do you normally get nervous before you perform?
Very nervous.
Do you have anything to overcome that?
Not really. Maybe just one drink, but that's about it. I mean, that's part of it, the adrenaline and the nervousness is what kind of makes doing it really exciting and such a relief after you've done it, so...
Now, if you've got a cold, I would be worried because you had an operation on your throat you had a problem with your nodules, is that correct?
I had nodules, yeah, I had them cut off.
Yeah, so were you worried how that would affect your voice as a singer? The bee's back, it's all right. It's getting bigger every time.
I was worried. I put it off for 10 years and because everyone always says to you, oh, Julie Andrews, because Julie Andrews could never sing again. So I've just heard her name for 10 years. Anytime I even, brought up the idea of having the surgery, Julie Andrews. So I was like, OK, I won't do it. And then finally I just thought, it's just too difficult trying to perform with them, so chopped them off.
And all fine?
Fine, haven't lost my voice since the surgery.
Good to know, good to hear. You can hear her performing at the MTV Awards, but in the meantime, the single Shiver is out March 20 from the forthcoming album, Counting Down the Days. Please thank the lovely Natalie Imbruglia, everybody. So wonderful to see you. Really good to see you.